Crohn's disease is an autoimmune disease of the gut, and I'm sure either you or someone you know suffers from it. In this video, we're going to cover exactly what Crohn's disease is and what dietary tips you can implement to manage the symptoms so that flare-ups are at an absolute minimum. Hello, and welcome to 5 Pillars Health, the channel where we show you the best ways to get healthy and stay healthy through the 5 pillars of sleep, hydration, nutrition, movement, and sunlight. Crohn's is a type of inflammatory bowel disease. When sufferers have a flare-up, it causes a swelling of the digestive tract tissues, which can cause abdominal pain, fatigue, weight loss, diarrhea, and malnutrition. It is similar, but not the same, as IBS, which is a syndrome caused by gut sensitivity as opposed to a full-blown disease. Most Crohn's disease flare-ups occur in the small intestine and can spread further down into the deeper parts of the bowel. Flare-ups can be so intense that people may have to miss days of work, and in the most severe cases, it can become life-threatening. There is no known cure for Crohn's disease, so how can Crohn's sufferers alter their diet so that they can put their symptoms at bay and live a completely normal, symptom-free life? There are many alternative therapies, including diet, which greatly reduce and even get rid of the inflammation that causes Crohn's. The best diet is definitely a diet that is firstly low in fibre. Those with Crohn's are sensitive to any and all of the common gut irritants, and fibre isn't usually well tolerated in those with the disease. Avoid breads, pastas, rice, beans, lentils, and most whole grains if you're a Crohn's sufferer. Other foods to cut out that will inflame your gut are nuts. Our ancestors used to come across nuts very rarely in the wild, and they were eaten raw and in small quantities. Today, nuts are mass-produced, so we eat them in larger quantities than we used to, and they're sold without their shell. Once a nut is removed from its shell, it is exposed to air and heat, and therefore oxidizes. Once it starts to oxidize, it can cause a host of gut problems when ingested. Those with Crohn's are therefore discouraged from eating them. Seeds are another product to avoid in people with Crohn's. Seeds are not digested in our guts and can cause inflammation in those with sensitive stomachs. Fruits with a lot of seeds are also discouraged in Crohn's sufferers, like strawberries and raspberries. We encourage fruits and vegetables on any healthy diet plan, but for those with Crohn's, we recommend eating them cooked and not raw. Cooked fruits and vegetables are more easily digested and will often not affect the nutrient composition. Some fruits, like apples, are even better for your health when cooked. Dice them up and cook them on a pan with some coconut oil, honey and cinnamon, and use it as a breakfast topping, dessert, or snack. Try to avoid salads and opt for steamed or roasted vegetables. The best gut-friendly veggies are squashes like pumpkin and butternut, as cruciferous vegetables, even when cooked, may still be too harsh for the sensitive guts of Crohn's patients. Cruciferous vegetables include broccoli, cauliflower, Brussels sprouts, and cabbage. Common allergens like dairy and gluten are avoided by a lot of people, even those who don't suffer from some sort of IBS or IBD. Gluten-free options are available everywhere, from pastas to breads and cakes. Try to rather go without bread and pasta instead of just reaching for the gluten-free alternatives, as these may still be too high in fibre, or they may be loaded with inflammatory chemicals to mimic the gluten taste. Dairy is touch and go for a lot of IBD sufferers, with some being able to tolerate it in small amounts, whilst others are able to still tolerate high-quality or raw forms of dairy. We recommend testing yourself on a small amount of dairy to see whether or not you react. Try a small serving of raw cheese, yogurt, or milk, and wait a few days to see if you develop any reactions. It goes without saying that at 5 Pillars, enemy numero uno is seed and vegetable oils. They are the biggest drivers of overall body inflammation and accelerate aging, disease, and chronic pain. We recommend staying as far away from these as possible, especially if you have an inflammatory bowel disease like Crohn's, because you will be extra sensitive. Rule of thumb is to stay away from any and all vegetable and seed oils, except for coconut and extra virgin olive oil. Swap margarine for butter, or even ghee to be extra careful about initiating any flare-ups. Spicy foods and spices like chili powder, paprika, etc. should definitely be avoided in people with Crohn's. Many people experience adverse reactions from eating them in large amounts, and Crohn's sufferers should be extra diligent to avoid them even in small quantities. Chilies in any form, curries and spicy dishes should be avoided as they aggravate the gut and can exacerbate or initiate a flare-up. Now that we've covered food, let's take a look at drinks and what drinks should be avoided for people with Crohn's. Coffee is discouraged because it can aggravate gut flare-ups in those with sensitive stomachs, which Crohn's sufferers have. Alcohol is also discouraged because it is by nature a driver of inflammation. Fizzy drinks and sodas are also discouraged because the carbonated gas could irritate your stomach lining. A diet isn't just what to cut out, but what to put in too. Bone broth comes highly recommended for anyone with gut sensitivities and therefore Crohn's sufferers. The bioavailable collagen and gelatin are gentle on the gut whilst actually promoting healing and restoration. Bone broth should be used as a prevention and as a solution during a flare-up. Other foods to include are anything with probiotics like yogurt or kefir, sauerkraut and kimchi. Other gut-loving goodies include raw honey, turmeric and cinnamon. People with Crohn's who don't follow a specific diet have to rely on pharmaceuticals, which treat the symptoms and not the root cause. These include antibiotics to treat infections, anti-diarrhea medication, biologics to suppress the immune system, steroids and immunomodulators to target the overactive immune system, and sometimes even surgery to treat holes, blockages or bleeding. We know that these are helpful as a last resort, but to try and avoid any of these synthetic solutions, simply follow our diet plan. If you're enjoying this video, please tap the like button. It helps us out a huge amount. This easy-to-follow diet plan, although targeted to Crohn's sufferers, can be followed by anyone with any sort of gut issue, or if you've experienced food poisoning or a tummy bug. Send this to someone who suffers with a sensitive gut and let us know if they've seen any improvement in their symptoms. A healthy gut is the basis for both physical and mental health and longevity, which is what we at our 5 Pillars community aim to be.